Sometimes when learning a language, there are things that just don't have a simple rule or explanation. Things that make absolutely no sense and that you feel like you're constantly getting wrong. When you find yourself in this situation, one of the best things you can do is to try to create a strong memory that links the expression to an emotion, an event, or a challenge. You want this strong memory so that the next time you go to use the expression, you just get it right without having to think about it first. Of course, creating lasting memories through a video is a little difficult, so we're going to do the next best thing: deliberate practice. I'm going to give you a number of sentences that have common mistakes that English students make, and you're going to try to correct them using clues that I give you from native English speakers. Ready to give it a try? Let's get started. Do you know how to correct this sentence? She didn't recognize her own daughter and even laughed at her. Here are two clues.
This is the only thing I will say today that has no data behind it, but I am convinced the longer it takes you to laugh at this cartoon, the more worried we should be that you're a taker.
So embrace the fear, love the suffering, take a risk, laugh at yourself a lot, and dive in and try, because you'll never have an adventure without a little fear.
What do you think? The problem is the preposition of. In English, we say that people laugh at things or other people. We don't laugh of things. The sentence should be, she didn't recognize her own daughter and even laughed at her. Here's the next sentence. I haven't thought in my future plans yet. Know how to fix it? Here's a couple more clips to try to confirm your answer.
But the more I thought about it, the more it became evident that I was wasting my time.
Because in this environment today, we've got to think of it all as one piece.
Like before, we've got another problem with the preposition choice. That said, you just heard two different ways to use think. Think about and think of. Which one fits here, and what's the difference? When it comes to think about versus think of, the difference is usually as follows. Think about refers to spending a lot of time thinking about something. It's more general. I need to think about it for a while. Think of is usually more instantaneous, like an idea or a quick thought. I just thought of something. Which one do you think fits here? I spent all day thinking about my mom. We use about because I spent all day doing it. How about this one? Every time I hear that song, I think of you. We say think of because the song is something that happens really quick and made me think of you for a brief moment. Last one. I just thought of a new plan that we can try. I'll think about it some more this afternoon. When I came up with the plan, it was an idea that I just thought of in that moment. Later this afternoon, I'll spend more time thinking about it. Going back to our challenge sentence, can you tell now which one fits here? I haven't thought about my future plans yet. Next challenge. If you thought the last two were easy, then this one is for you. We've got 3 things wrong with this sentence. I have to help them in many tasks that they can't do by themselves. Let's listen to some clues for the first mistake.
And to help with that, I'm going to add a 4th part to our formula.
But then we also help them with all sorts of little things.
Surprise, it's another preposition issue. What's the correct way to say the first part of this sentence? I have to help them with many tasks. In English, we help people with things. There's still something wrong with this half of the sentence, though. Let's listen to more clues.
The truth is, this technology is in its infancy, and we're going to need to see a lot of experiments take place and probably fail.
It's that you need to go to a place that's a desert today, a place that doesn't have too many plants covering up the rocks.
In the first clue, we heard a lot of experiments. And in the second, we heard a place that doesn't have too many plants. What does this mean? While both a lot of and many mean a large quantity of something, a lot of is a bit more flexible and can be used in both positive sentences where we have something or we do something, and negative sentences where we don't have something or don't do something. On the other hand, many is more commonly used in negative sentences. While it's not blatantly wrong to use many in positive sentences, it typically sounds more formal and can be slightly awkward. For example, which one fits here? This is a negative sentence, so both I haven't had many visitors since I moved and I haven't had a lot of visitors since I moved sound good. How about here? This is a positive sentence, so there are a lot of people at this party is the best fit. It would sound a little formal to say there are many people at this party. Which one fits in these blanks? This is the one major exception to the don't use many in positive sentences unless you want to sound formal rule. In positive sentences where we are using the words so, as, or to, then you basically have to use many. David thinks he has so many friends, but I think he has just as many as I do. Although you can never have too many friends. In our workout sentence, we can now see that mistake number 2 is using many in a positive sentence. It should be, I have to help them with a lot of tasks. Awesome. Time to figure out the third mistake. This one's a little tricky.
Obviously, I set goals, right? I look to stretch my limits, my boundaries, and I can do that on my own. I really don't need anyone or anything.
I think I've left enough breadcrumbs in the story that the reader knows what's going to happen next, but I trust them to figure it out on their own.
You might have instantly seen theirselves and known that the correct reflexive pronoun for they is themselves. That said, you probably didn't hear themselves in either of the clues. What did you hear? Listen to the second one more time.
I think I've left enough breadcrumbs in the story that the reader knows what's going to happen next, but I trust them to figure it out on their own.
They can't do it on their own. The whole sentence should be, I have to help them with a lot of tasks that they can't do on their own. Could you say, I have to help them with a lot of tasks that they can't do by themselves? Technically, yes. Both on their own and by themselves often mean the same thing, but I bet you'll hear native speakers say on their own a lot more in this context. Why? Because by themselves indicates more of a feeling of being alone. It's something they can do with no other people present. On their own adds a bit more emphasis that this is something that they are capable or incapable of doing. They did it by themselves means they did it, and nobody was there. The emphasis is on who is there. They did it on their own means they are capable and did it. Other people may or may not have been there. The emphasis is more on their capability, not on who was there. Looking back at our workout sentence, we can see that since we're talking about helping them, our grandparents for example, with a lot of tasks, it's probably because they are not capable of doing it on their own and they need help. Here's your last challenge for today. There are a lot of lights in my room and I always forget to turn off them. Let's check out the clues.
Of course, I have the option to turn it off early or go back to work early.
I couldn't help but think about them all the time. And I couldn't turn them off.
Know what's wrong? Our student used the right phrasal verb, turn off, but what they forgot is that when the object of the phrasal verb is a pronoun, like me, you, it, them, or us, we put the pronoun in between the two parts of the phrasal verb. For example, how would this sentence change if we replace the song with it? I can't make it out. How about this one? I'll go dry it off after it rains. Of course, this means that our workout sentence should be, There are a lot of lights in my room, and I always forget to turn them off. Great detective work. You just solved 4 mysteries. Let's see if you remember what you learned. Try to fix this sentence. In my opinion, it's very important to think about what to do on my own, but sometimes it's easier to ask an expert. On my own is a better fit because, again, we are emphasizing our capability to think about things compared to how easy it is to ask an expert. Now fill in these blanks. I remember the last time you helped me with the homework. You told me to think about my biggest obstacles and to write them down. Last one. If you laugh at me one more time, I'm never calling you again. Sometimes there are easy rules and explanations for things in English, like putting pronouns in between phrasal verbs. When it comes to prepositions, however, there typically aren't a lot of super easy rules to follow. In order to remember things like laugh at, help with, or think about, we need to use them in a way that creates a lasting memory. Hopefully, today's exercise was both challenging and interesting enough so that the next time you go to help someone with their homework, you don't laugh at them when they think about the wrong things. If you like this video and want more, be sure to click subscribe and head over to deliberateenglish.com to learn more about how to speak fluent English and understand native speakers. See you soon.